Am I running this on two
Hello.
machines? Okay, I do right here. I solved it. I did that on the last live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday News Wrap Up. And do we ever have a wrap up for you? Now, to give us a hand today, we brought on Ruby Quinn. Everyone knows Ruby.
Hey.
She's our new co-host. She's going to help out with all this news. There's so much JW news that I can't read it all, and I can't read a lot of the big words. So we have Ruby here.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to help as much as I can.
Oh yeah. So we're going to say hi to a few people, and then we'll get rolling on things. Darth Ligma. Hello, Darth.
Yeah.
And we have Loma Elber. Nice new graphics. Yeah, thank you. And we have Adrian Mully. Hello, Adrian. He's one of the
Mm-hmm.
chess. Does he play checkers and
Mm-hmm.
poker on Discord?
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's a pretty good contestant. If anybody wants to join Discord, there's a lot of
Yeah.
games going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and here's the person that's behind this all. We're gonna blame her, my good wife, and she makes this all happen. And we have San Diego Pimo. Hello. And I missed Jan
Javier.
VR. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say that? How would you say that?
Javier
Yeah.
Diz Gonzalez. Ooh.
Oh, you said it. You said it right. We brought the right person on.
Yep.
Great.
And Linda. Some people are joining. They're jumping on. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody. From Germany. Wow.
Linda. Yeah. From Germany.
God.
So this is also live streaming on Ruby's channel. Ruby Quinn has her own channel. A lot of you guys know that, but just so you know, you can also get this on hers and subscribe to her if you don't know her. We can present her channel and show what it
Mm-hmm.
looks like, but it's just Ruby Quinn, right?
Yeah, so that's my name. I am my own brand, I guess. I named it just after myself. And my handle is New Yorker Rican on all platforms.
Okay, let me see. I think I'm going to bring you up here right on the screen here. So there's your
Yep.
channel.
Mm-hmm.
I can copy and paste this in the. Oops, let me go like that. There we go.
There you
Okay, so
go.
I can copy and paste this and throw it in the. Where do you do that at?
I think you could do it in the chat. Let me see.
Right here,
I'm just
just
gonna
New
put my
York
handle.
Rican, right here.
Yeah. New Yorker Rican. Yeah. I'm also gonna write it just in case.
Okay, how about there? Did I get it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. There you go. Yep, I
There
put it
you
as
go.
well.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so here's the channel. Here's some videos, eh? A lot of videos. You're doing a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. You want to talk a little bit about your channel while we're on it? What
Okay,
you're
sure.
doing, all the varieties?
Yeah. So, I mean, the only reason why I started the channel was to expose CSA issues. I've dealt a little bit with it myself. I shared my story with JW researcher Rose on her channel. So, if anybody wants to check that out, you can check the link in the community tab. I have shared it. It's the first time that I'm actually giving my story in real details. So, I'm pretty excited that I'm like giving my secrets, like why I was reproved, why I was disfellowshipped, and then my awakening. We're going to have a part 2. But the reason why I started was to expose CSA because my uncle was caught, and he's a Jehovah's Witness, and he had to take a plea deal, and that's not good enough for me. He has to register as a sex offender, and he can still go to the meetings. The family still associates with him, but they shun me. So they are treating a pedophile
Really?
better than they treat me. And I'm not okay with that. So I said, I'm going to
Nope.
make a YouTube channel and I am going to
Yep.
expose this guy.
Yep. Wow. Wow. Good for you, Ruby.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your hard work. We see you on all the lives and all over the community, and you're a great contributor. Now, what we're
Yeah.
building here is a community, and
Mhm.
the community is really the healing. We're going to talk about that in a bit here. we're going to move into one of the studies. We're going to move into the news. I wanted to say thank you to Watchtower. They do a lot of work on the news. Here they are. Here's what their site looks like. Watchtower. And we're going to pull a lot of the news from there. So thanks to them. We don't know who they are, but somehow, like I blame it on the Holy Spirit. I think the Holy Spirit's behind all of it because we don't organize it.
Right, right. The truth is coming
Like
out. The truth.
it is the truth. It'll be revealed, right? We always say that. Now, here's a new site, Be Free Protest. They just got their site done. Here's what it looks like. So, Shun No More 2024, September 13th, 2024, Washington, D.C. at the White House. And it happened last year. It's quite a ways for you to drive and go, Ruby, but do you go to those protests or not?
I thought about it. I saw last year's protest, and I actually got in touch with one of the organizers. Her name is Ivy, I believe. She was on exJWs channel. They did an interview together, and so she's in Tampa, and I'm in Tampa as well. So I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" Wow. Yeah, I know, right? Okay. So I thought about it, but I don't know. Like if I did do it, let's just say hypothetically, I would fly out the same day and then fly back home the same day. So I would fly in the morning and then fly in the afternoon, because that is a long drive, and I don't know about that. But
so now, yeah. So what I was going to say, so you're going to go there. Flying, is that expensive?
Yeah, so the tickets, like round trip, is like 200 plus. So I don't know if I'm going, but I'm definitely supporting the movement. I'm sharing it. And, one of, like I said, Ivy's in Tampa, so I can talk to her and maybe do something even more local. This is only the second protest. So if it's annually, I'm definitely gonna, plan for the future. But I do want to do more like local stuff as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So you can support Ruby right here on her website. If you go to her website, you just click more and Cash App, right? That's what you use, Cash App?
Yeah.
New Yorker. So people
New Yorker Rican.
You. So I think it'd be good. We cannot go. We would love to go. We cannot go this year. We have a lot of plans here for protesting here in Canada, and we're just going to start that. But next year, we're hoping we could get our.
Right. Me
we
too.
have to get passports to cross the border. But anyways, you can support Ruby here on her channel. You can find out how, and we're encouraging everyone to go to this that can. This is a great thing that's happening. Be Free's put a lot of work into this, and we don't even know who Be Free is. This is why the shunning has to stop, because no one can reveal themselves in this organization. Very few are revealing themselves, but more and more as we move on. So everything's here on Be Free. Be Free wanted to say a big thanks, so we want to say a big thanks to Stand If You Are Able, and they built that website for Be Free. They did the work.
Nice.
So we want to give these guys a big thanks, and here we go. Where's my thanks? Right here. So when we find organizations that stand up and help out the cause, we give a lot of thanks. Speak out against the Jehovah's Witness organization with these printable protest signs. So this is Stand If You Are Able. This is a website. This is the first time I've seen it, but here's these signs you can get. Look at this. Look at some of the signs.
Wow. Yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing this too. Nice.
Yeah. I'll pin this in the comments of the video. The description. So anybody out there that wants to click on this, they can find it. Excellent website. This is kind of their main page. No one should have to choose between their family and being their authentic selves. We're going to talk more about this. Stick with us on the program. We're going to talk about what's going on in Germany. And it's as a result, I think, of the shooting in Germany. So we're going to look at this study. Okay, so we're going to move into the news. And the first piece of news we have here is Watchtower's tactics exposed in Montana. This is kind of interesting. We'll blow this up. So I'm going to just back up here a bit. Everyone's been following the Montana case. And I'm going to silence that. Now, there's a motion in play right now. Watchtower wants to settle. They want to settle. They've had enough. So let's look at this. Now, Watchtower, let's read this. Everyone says they don't like the. Did you want to read that, or do you want me to read it? I can read it if you want.
Sure. I'll read it. It's quick. Okay, so that's Watchtower, PA. That's Pennsylvania, right? Okay.
Right.
So Watchtower. Okay. So Watchtower PA's. Okay. Response makes the repeated conclusory assertion that it will. What happened?
What happened? That's okay. I was just talking to my producer, my good wife. I was supposed to read this one. This was on my cue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's your show. Go ahead.
That's mine. You're on the next one, right?
I don't know. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it.
Oh, okay. So, well, okay. Here, Watchtower. What's happening here in Montana? I'm not going to read it all. There's no prejudice. What does that mean? No prejudice? Do you know what that term means? The proposed amendments prejudice it. No prejudice. So that is because there is no prejudice. The essence of the joint enterprise theory is that the relationship between the defendants was such that they were acting as one entity. So Watchtower doesn't like that. They wanted to say, we're not a part of those guys, right? That's what they're saying. They want a separation. They don't want to be held liable for what these guys, these elders or people in their congregations did. And the plaintiffs are saying, no, that's not the case. So Watchtower's response makes repeated conclusive assertions that it will be prejudiced by the plaintiffs' joint enterprise amendments. Like it won't be treated fairly. That's what they're saying. They use that court with no prejudice in court on legal things. I don't know if you've done some legal stuff, but I'm not a lawyer or anything, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I've dealt with some legal stuff. Just by reading this stuff, you have to learn it. So it goes on to say, yet it fails to provide any evidence or discussion of exactly how it will be prejudiced. So the Watchtower is not showing the court why. They're just saying, you guys are making us involved and we don't want to be involved. And the court says, okay, well, you are involved. Show us why you shouldn't be involved. But yet the Watchtower can't show it. So nowhere does the Watchtower state how the plaintiffs' proposed amendments prejudiced it, made them guilty when they're not guilty, or what, that's what that means. That is because there's no prejudice. The essence of the joint enterprise theory is that the relationship between the defendants was such that they were acting as one entity. See, Watchtower, they don't want to be like that. They want to control everyone, right? They want to control elders through their elders book. But now when it comes to court, they're saying, no, we're not controlling anyone. We're just a printing company. And that's what's happening in Montana. They're calling BS. We all know it's BS. But these ladies are standing up. And they're catching Watchtower. Watchtower's been getting away with this stuff behind closed doors forever. So what does it say? All of this evidence has been and continues to be in possession of the defendants. It's the defendants who understand the nature of their relationship. The defendants, the Watchtower, they understand what they're doing. Okay, let's move on. Evidence from the plaintiffs. It is inconceivable that deposing the plaintiffs or serving interrogatories could in any way assist the defendants in discovering evidence. that is already in their possession. So this you'd have to know, there's a lot of legal terms in these court documents, like
Mm-hmm.
serving interrogatories.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? It's inconceivable that deposing the plaintiffs or serving could in any way assist the Watchtower. That's what that's saying. Well, the Watchtower asserts that it would need to depose the plaintiffs. Evidence. This goes on to talk about it here. So yeah, they want to go through all the ladies' evidence. That's what they want to do, right? It's inconceivable that disposing the plaintiffs or serving in terror could in any way assist them. Okay, let's get ahead. So that is because it wouldn't. Plaintiffs have no personal knowledge that would discoverable or bear on the relationship between Watchtower and Watchtower New York. Like, why would the ladies know anything about it? See, Watchtower now wants all their information.
Mm-hmm.
The guilty ones, right? But now they want that. So, to the contrary, it is Watchtower who possesses and have knowledge of all such evidence.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's going on here in this? Just goes on to talk about it some more.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line is, I don't think they're going to. The motion is set forth, so we'll see what happens. That's the motion that's been put forth. Okay, next up, this is yours, and this is Hawaii. So
Yeah, I did not know about this story, so I was kind of shocked when your good wife showed this to me. I don't know if there's commentary already on that video if you wanted to play it, but yeah, it's one of Jehovah's Witnesses pleads not guilty. So if you see that guy right there on the
person name, business/government agent.
oh, I'll pause it. Sorry.
okay, if you click on the 15-minute mark, 15-second mark, is that like right at the beginning? Look at that guy's face. Wow.
That's him right there.
Yeah. Look at that guy's face. I am shocked. So he's accused of stabbing roommates in Hawaii and he pleads not guilty. I'm in shock. Like, honestly, I am totally in shock. Okay. And then just fast forwarding just a little bit.
So that's not a young man. He's got
right.
Yeah, it's not like he's a teenager. So where do you want to go now?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, right there. So the defendant found unfit to proceed. So committed to the custody of the director of health. Fitness review hearing set on 8/6/2024. So that's in August, right? August 6th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's when you see, if you fast forward, let's see a little bit further. I think you see the documentation where they're saying that he's unfit. So I was like, oh, is it mental illness, or like he's not fit to stand trial or something to that effect. But if anybody wants to watch that, definitely go to Watchtower YouTube channel and watch that. I think around 2 minutes and 18 seconds, that's where it shows you right there that he is in a facility. So I do think that this is related to mental health issues. And that's attempted murder. You know what I mean? Like, he was, stabbing people. Oh my God, it's just crazy in my opinion.
Well, this is going to tie in with this study in Germany. Because all Jehovah's Witnesses, all ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, as we know from our community, we have to fix ourselves. There's a lot of work, right? And it's going to be interesting to see how this study leads out. Okay, here's the next article. Protesters call for accountability at Gateway Church. Sounds like it's another church going on. I haven't really looked at these. I'm just going through it with you. So there's the picture.
Mhm.
Looks like protests are going all over against churches. Do you know anything about the Gateway Church?
I don't. I am once again in shock that we are not the only ones dealing with CSA issues. I
Mhm.
think that lots of other institutions are having a problem with this. And like we said before, the truth is coming out. I think we're living in the times of revelations, and like the truth is certainly coming out, and the internet is helping us share more awareness about this. And if you look at their signs, doesn't that look like our signs too? Like, oh, it's crazy. But I'm
Yeah,
glad
it
that this
looks
is
like,
happening.
yeah, it's going on all over. Look at that. So this is, I think this is a great thing for any of us to be involved with as exJWs, is an
Hmm.
awareness. And these are really strong messages. We were going to go with a lighter message, but I think anything's good. I think the strong messages have to go out. Okay, well,
Right.
that's the end of that. That's that article. So it's happening with all the churches. It's not just JWs, but
Hmm.
JWs are one of the big ones hitting the news right now.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see what we are. This is a news article. Auto theft, car thieves trying to gain access to government records. I don't know. Oh, here we go.
I was about
I
to say, what?
gone to the wrong article. You know how Google is, eh? Okay, here's this abuse and care update. Jehovah's Witnesses New Zealand Royal Commission. Is that the one you were doing?
Yeah, she showed me that article about New Zealand. Because I was also doing videos on them as well, so I know like a tiny little bit about them. But that
Good.
that reporter, she's really good. She gives the truth about what's really going on, because they were doing okay, that right there, yeah, abuse and care, and that Jehovah's Witnesses were refusing to participate. And it's like, you don't have a choice here. You have to participate, because they wanted to
Mhm.
claim like, oh, we don't have to take care of, children or like families or whatever, like they always say, oh, that's the parents' issue, but not in New Zealand. New Zealand is saying you are an organization that has families and children, so you are also, responsible. So they go back and forth, months and months and months of articles from, these reporters. So I think that's the wrap up, is that article right there, that they lose court. Fight to obtain
Mhm.
abuse inquiry report before victims, because they wanted the report before the victims. Like they're
Yeah.
always trying to save themselves when you already know it's gonna come out. Like they're trying to save themselves everywhere, and they're losing everywhere.
So the claim was dismissed, it says right here.
Hmm.
Right here.
Yeah,
So
but they're not gonna get
they
first access to this
they
report. It's going to be given.
did they sue? They filed an urgent claim in the high court. That's like a suit almost, eh? A claim. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they went to
So
court.
they first. Yeah.
They're very litigious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's some more on it. So it's all moving forward. So this report's coming out the week beginning July 22nd. So this big report, JWs don't get the report. This report's coming out. What's going to
Yeah.
be in that report? That's the big question. That's why they want it.
Mm-hmm.
you see,
Mm-hmm.
you see, if they got that report ahead of time, then they could start filing lawsuits and stall it. Once it's in court, you see, they say, "Oh no, we see this. It can't come out. It's defamation of character. It's this. It's that. It's everything that they do to us." They'll claim
Right.
that the court's doing to them, right?
Yeah. And
So
this is not
interesting.
going to be on JW.org news section. So witnesses are not going to know what's going on in New Zealand or Germany or Pennsylvania or anywhere else in the world. So they want to get ahead of this by getting the information first. And that's what Jehovah's Witnesses do. Like literally, even average members, they always try to get ahead of things and gaslight you
Yep.
and try to,
Yeah.
switch it up on you. And you're like, no, 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 no. This is what the report
Mhm.
says. This is truth. Because this comes
Mhm.
from the courts. This is not apostate
Yeah.
lies, and you cannot gaslight me into thinking whatever you want me to think.
No, I'm going to ask you, Ruby, when you were in the JW, you didn't have kids, did you? You were a kid raised in it?
Right.
So, okay, as a kid raised in it,
Hmm.
did you get passed around to different people when it came to the service arrangement other than your parents?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, everyone did, right? Every
Yeah.
kid in that organization gets passed around to different people, and
Hmm.
then they claim they don't look after kids. Like they're always
Right.
looking after kids in the field ministry, always. And it's not only elders, it's usually exemplary publishers, right? You only have to be exemplary. A pedophile can be exemplary. They're given pedophiles literature counter rights. They
Mhm.
won't they won't make them an elder, but they give and they keep them quiet. You wouldn't even know they're a pedophile.
Exactly. There you go. That's what I was talking about earlier because I'm like, nobody's going to know that my uncle is a sex offender if I'm not the one saying, see this face?
Yeah.
That's my uncle and he's a Jehovah's Witness and this is the congregation that he goes to. So if you don't have people like me identifying our people that are witnesses, they're not going to announce it on the stage. So you're never going to know that the guy sitting next to you is a sex offender.
Do you know how a pedophile repents? He goes out in service to meet other kids.
Oh my
I'm
God,
serious.
no.
That's how they repent. The pedophiles repented by going to meetings, praying, and going out into the field ministry.
Oh my
So
God.
they're saying that, we're covering it in the elders book, eh?
Hmm.
It's bad. So
Yeah.
this royal commission, 6 years, eh? This started the whole thing. The royal commission woke so many people up,
Hmm.
and
Thank
it's a
God for those extra XJWs. Thank God for those abuse survivors speaking out and protesting and bringing this to the government. Because if they can do it in their government, we can do it in the American government as well.
yeah.
That's my goal.
So we got to thank Australia and New Zealand. They're like the leaders in this, and they're like
Right.
one of the smallest countries in the world. They don't, as far as peoples go. And yet, I'd have to Google it right now, but how many people are in Australia? I think it's less than Canada, and I think we only have 40 million.
Hmm.
I, I'm not sure how many million people are in Australia. It's less than Canada, I'm sure.
Hmm.
But yet, there was like over a thousand offenses, a thousand
Right.
offenses, CSA offenses, a
Right. That were
thousand.
unreported.
And there was something like 1,800, but they're only dealing with so much right now. This is going to go on for years. And once it
Right.
opens up here, I think it's going to open up in the whole world. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but
And
you see, if you calculate those numbers, the 1,000 cases in Australia that were unreported, even within the Jehovah's Witness community, that's a lot. Like that's a lot
it's
because there's
wild.
not that many Jehovah's Witnesses around the world. So if you calculate the ratio of the unreported cases with how many congregations worldwide and even in
Yeah,
America, you can have the ratio of at least
yeah.
1 to 2 pedophiles in each congregation, like for sure there's going to be at least 1 or 2 based on the numbers of these countries that are reporting that we just
They're
don't know
saying
about
it's
it.
higher than the Catholic Church because you see, the
Wow.
Catholic Church doesn't organize. You see, the people that go to the Catholic Church,
Hmm.
they're just people that go there, and it's not like they're going out in service and doing things with people's kids. There's none of that. They just
Right.
go to church. So the only
Right.
time your kid is in front of the priest
Hmm.
is confession. Everyone goes to confession, and then
Hmm.
maybe the priest says, "Hey, I got to come to the back. I got something for you," and something happens. That's maybe how it
Right.
starts. And they're saying 4% of the priests in the
Hmm.
Catholic Church are pedophiles. 4% of them. That's the number. So they're saying the problem in the Jehovah's Witnesses is it's not limited to the elder body. It's ministerial servants, it's publishers, it's
Hmm.
everyone.
Hmm.
Everyone is spending time with kids according to Watchtower's guidelines. This is all according
Right.
to Watchtower's guidelines of going in the ministry. They got to shut down the ministry. If they want to fix their problem, they got to completely shut the ministry down and just send officials like pioneers and missionaries out. No, shut down the
Mm.
women and children and shut the ministry
Mhm.
down, you solve your problem.
Good idea.
But anyways, we'll move on.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
easy for us apostates, say, to come up with the answers. That's
Mm.
anyways, I did a little bit of a satire for the assembly this year. One of the first videos I had it where I said no more door to door. It's actually in the Bible not to go door to door. In Luke 10 and 7. Do
Really?
not go. It says the words "do not go door to door." We'll look
No
at that.
way.
Yeah,
I got
I
my
found it
Bible
by
right here.
accident. Do you? Is it Luke? I'm sure it's Luke 10 and 6.
Luke 10,
Luke 10,
6.
7. Luke 10, 7.
Okay.
Do
Luke
not
10.
go door to door.
Luke chapter 10.
Yeah. I use this
Verse.
Bible tool. Do not go door.
Oh, wow. Okay, my Bible says, and remain in the same house, eating and drinking such things as they give, for the laborer is worthy of his wages. Do not go from house to house.
Yeah. Did you know the
What?
JW Bible changed it?
What does
They
the New World
changed.
Translation say?
It says don't transfer from the one house to another. So you go stay with someone in their house, and then they're
Mhm.
saying don't transfer, houses when you're staying with people. But it
Oh.
changed the meaning. They're saying don't go house to house. You're like, when they did
Mhm.
their preaching, they did it in the public squares, or they did it in the
Right.
synagogues. And
Right.
isn't that what churches do today? They do it in their churches. So if I want to go to church, okay, I look down the street. There's 3 or 4 churches. I pick which one I want to go to. It was the same
Mhm.
back then. And if they did go house to house, a lot of times it was to see church members. Elders go out
Mhm.
and ministers go out and see their patrons of their church house to house. Usually
Mhm.
elders. Like you look at the Apostle Paul, he was a circuit overseer going house to house. Timothy, he was like a circuit overseer.
Right.
They're all circuit overseers going house to house. No women and children went house to house.
Right. And
Not
that's
that I
really
could
interesting.
find in the Bible. And then they say don't go house to house in some cases. I did a whole video on that.
Okay.
And I made it a satire, like I was giving a talk to the assembly. Anyways, that's another story. Uh, I'll pin, it's a funny one. I'll pin it on Discord later.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to move forward. Where are we? We're on New Zealand. That's what we're talking about. So yeah, that's interesting. What's going on in New Zealand? This is going to once you see Jehovah's Witnesses now have to apologize.
They ain't gonna do that.
So everyone else, all these other churches have apologized.
Thankfully. Yeah. Even with the
So
Catholic stuff, I like I
they,
go to an Orthodox church and they are Orthodox Catholics. So,
yeah,
technically the word Catholic means, like just Orthodox Christians. So it's basically the same thing. But I've had that issue too. So I'm glad that they've covered that and they excommunicated them. Like once you're excommunicated, that's it. You're not 10 feet within the church. You know what I mean? Like you're done.
like in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, like I guess like if you sin or whatever or a crime, because that's a crime, you get arrested, but you
Yeah,
get excommunicated as well. Like it's serious for them. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
not like, oh, you're repented, you get this fellowship, and if you're sorry, we'll reinstate you. Like, no, they don't do that. That's a
Well,
crime.
basically, they say to them, "Go to hell,"
Yeah, I
right?
guess so. Yeah, because they believe in that. Yeah. I mean, I'm
Okay.
still learning that kind of stuff. So.
Okay. Characteristics of health and well-being of former Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, so this is the study.
Mhm.
It's I pulled the study up. We can flick through it here.
Mhm.
It's a Zurich study, and it's experienced physical, sexual violence, childhood is covering all of this with all of the
Mhm.
Jehovah's Witnesses, a suicide. 10% of those who have left attempt suicide. That's what they found in this study. Can you believe that? That's
I believe
high.
that. I believe
That's
that.
high. Out of 100 people that leave, 10%
Mhm.
attempt suicide. Now, former Jehovah's Witnesses are 40% more likely to suffer from chronic illness and a third more likely to suffer from mental illness. Can
Yes,
you believe
I
that?
believe that. I believe that. I've dealt with it. It's something that I talk about more often now. So, yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm beginning to realize that I was mentally sick for when I got out. I was mentally sick. I didn't know how to deal with it. There was nowhere to go, right?
Hmm.
And finally, my good wife says, you got to start just writing this stuff down and getting it out of your head. You see, what happens is we bottle it up. We have no one to talk to. No one. That's the worst punishment you can
Right.
give anybody is silence. It's the worst punishment. And indefinite silence for no crime. And a lot of these people leave because they're just sick and tired of it, so they leave. They've done no crime, they've hurt no one, but they're tired of the BS in the religion, so they leave. But yet they get chased down and they get shunned. They advertise this, they discriminate. And then these people leave the organization and they're all by themselves, because there's not like there's a group of, well, now we have this online group, right? We're getting there. We're starting to develop our own stuff because there's nothing. When I started to wake up, I went to Life After Religion. What was that group, hun? Recovering from Religion. You know those guys, that group? So I emailed them and they said, well, there's something here, something there, but there was nothing like our community, nothing like it.
Right.
I couldn't find anything like it, but I'm sure all over the world there's different communities. And but do you think of it? What do people do? They commit suicide.
Yeah, because nobody cares about you anymore. If you're not a Jehovah's Witness, you're not getting invited to the gatherings, to the dinners, to the graduation party. So it's like they just
funerals.
Right. So you're totally like not disinvited from everything just because you're not going to the meetings. So all of a sudden you go from popular to nothing, and you don't know why until you realize they weren't your real friends, and even your family. They just drop you. And I'm like, we went through it. You know what I mean? We went through it.
Yeah. So I'm going to look. This is a study itself. I'm going to pin this. It's a really in-depth study. It's done by the University of Zurich, and it's funded by them. So this is nothing to do with ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. This is going out to the world, this survey. And it's just like, stuff done in Germany and them places. They're very thorough. They're very thorough when they do things. So we're going to go all the way down to disclosure statements, additional. This is right at the end. I like the endings of these things. So here's the conclusion of the whole study. It says the data indicates considerable variations in health and well-being among the current sample of self-identified ex-members of Jehovah's Witnesses. And the results show a substantial higher risk for most types of child maltreatment, with the exception of physical neglect. High levels of they call it psychosocial. Have you ever heard of that word? Psychosocial.
Whoa. Not until right now, but that makes a lot of sense.
Psychosocial.
Stress.
Psychosocial. Oh my God. Yeah.
This is the word they're using in this study.
Psychosocial stress.
Yeah.
Linked
so the
to the
psychosocial stress, it's linked to the exit. And here it is, shunning. Years of making the wrong decision, punishment from God, or threat from the faith community. So this is what, well, you and I have dealt with, right? Or for a lot of years, right? And the loss of crucial protective and resilient resources. Yeah. You see, now we go on, we meet with Joe and Fran, we go on Wednesday nights. If you're lonely, you get on there. I see people making big differences on this channel. Do you? Like in the community? Like I see a big difference. So we need each other. We need people. So there's a lack of it. When you get out, there's nothing. Now they're saying the findings suggest that the mode of and the reason for exit, in addition to child maltreatment, are relevant risk factors for poor health and well-being in the current sample of self-identified ex-members. So that's what's happening in our group of people, you and I. We're in a group of people where we have risk factors for poor health and well-being. That's what they're finding. We're going to be sicker than the rest of the world. Why? Because we're mentally sick. And we're mentally sick because we believe that Satan's all around us. Satan's a devil. Jehovah's Witnesses are the right ones. We left. Jehovah's, we're going to die in Armageddon. All these different feelings we could have. And until we undo them, how do we undo them? Accurate knowledge, like you're doing, Ruby. You went to another church. They taught you some of the Bible. You can go anywhere and learn from any other church and probably undo a lot of it. I think. Did you find it unwired you a bit going to another church?
Yeah, I mean, I dealt with a lot of religious, like post-traumatic stress syndrome. Like I was very nervous. I would get nauseous and start sweating and shaking. But then as soon as if you just talk to another Christian or to another person, where whatever you're inquiring into, it makes it easier, because then they understand where you come from, and they're like, yeah, we totally get you. Whatever questions you have, we can just correct it, because you don't have to like deprogram the entire faith. You can just correct certain things that you miss, that is either false or wrong, and then they just correct that for you. So it's not like you're losing everything. You're just replacing the lie with the truth. And that's what I've been doing.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, so this study says these individuals, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, may be in need of or particularly benefit from specialized medical and here's that word again, or is it different?
Psychotherapeutic.
Yeah, psychotherapeutic attention.
That's so true, yo. It's just so true. You got to find the right psychiatrist for this field. There are psychiatrists for cult survivors, and I'm actually seriously thinking of looking one up for myself, because I think I'm ready for that now. But yeah, that's so true. Psychotherapeutic attention. Wow.
So my doctor recommended me to go and see a psychologist when I quit back in 2012. So I did. And I didn't get past the counter because it was $100 and some an hour. I can't afford that. I couldn't afford it. I don't know about if people's health care down there can afford it, but we don't have that coverage up here.
Yeah. It depends on what state you're in. It depends on what class you're in, how much income you make, and that's the insurance that you can go for. But I think there's certain mental hospitals that you can do outpatient services, and they provide that for you. So you might find the hospital that can give it for free. You never know. So,
well, we're going to move to another province. So I heard they have better medical than the one that we're in. We'll see what happens. But anyways, we all need, it would be important, I think, for all of us to see a psychologist if we can. But then these psychologists, one of the things I thought about, how many visits am I going to take just to explain to them their damn religion? And they're going to charge me $100 an hour for that, to train them.
That's why you don't go to a regular one. You have to go to the one that specializes in cults. Yeah. And then through their specialized field, then, you're the Jehovah's Witness one, and they deal with a bunch of different other cults. Yeah. You have to do like research.
You can't go to any psychologist. Great. Okay, so it says tailored support. So psychotherapeutic attention or tailored support. Now, what's other tailored support? I think our support group is good, like our community. I think that's a great support group. Getting Jehovah's Witnesses or ex-Jehovah's Witnesses out, I think reading other books. You have a book club, don't you, on your channel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. From ex-Jehovah's Witness authors. Right?
Get your mind out. When for anybody recovering from Alcoholic Anonymous or anything like that, there's a lot of books like The Secret, the Celestine Prophecies, things like that. Fantastical books, fictional. And it gets your mind out of the present state, and you kind of go on a journey through the book. That's what a book can do. We've been used to reading Watchtowers all our life, for any of us that have been in there, right? Not really allowed to read. You're not really encouraged to read books. And you don't have time. They give you no time because they're flooding you with too much other stuff. Now they've got flooding you with movies, So, I think the books is good. Now, here's what I thought interesting in this study. Now, remember, this is I was going to put out where it came, but there's 3 countries involved in this study. We'll take a look at this in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saying, this is a conclusion. They're saying, however, given the current lack of knowledge regarding the particular needs of these help-seeking individuals and the lack of validated treatment approaches for this particular group of individuals, there is not yet a satisfactory answer regarding the specific nature of this treatment and tailored support. So they don't have the answer. We're too new of a group that they're discovering.
There you go. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
It says it's recommended that further research and practice efforts in this field are dedicated to addressing this issue. Nonetheless, it suggests that ex-members seek the help of professionals that possess a certain amount of knowledge regarding the common practice of fundamentalist Christian faith communities. And professionals may take directives for the treatment of help-seeking ex-members from relevant treatment manuals directed toward survivors of child maltreatment, complex trauma, and or social exclusion. This is interesting. Social exclusion. This is the disfellowship. This is going away, folks. This disfellowshipping, it has to go away. And it is.
Yep.
This is not us doing this. This is funded by the talks about who funded this funding. The authors disclosed receipt of following financial support by the Swiss National Science Foundation. There's the grant number. And the Swiss National Science Foundation, there's another grant. So they're granting this to look into Jehovah's Witnesses. This is just for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Amazing.
So when you get a guy that goes in and shoots up a Kingdom Hall, I don't know if he was disfellowshipped or what happened, they're going to look into it. They're going to look into it big time. And the whole world is going to know about it. Now, here's what they did to make this fair. I thought this was interesting. They said little quantifiable knowledge exists about the individuals who disaffiliate from an exclusionary Christian faith community, such as Jehovah's Witnesses, the New Apostolic Church, or the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So these guys are on the radar. All these other churches that do exclusions, all the churches that disfellowship like that.
Yeah.
So in that manner, it's interesting. And the intentional project of psychological strain and resilience after leaving or exclusion by a fundamentalist Christian faith community was conducted with German-speaking ex-members who left. And also Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. It's a triangular research project incorporating qualitative and quantitative research. It's funded by the Swiss bank. Isn't that what Zurich is? So this is, I think this is big news for our community to read a report like this. And again, it's a big report. I just covered the back end of it.
Yeah, but these are also ex-members. So that's really good to highlight, because it's, once again, other people like us in these countries that are speaking up and being, courageous and bold and telling the truth about what really happens behind closed doors. So this is how powerful we are in speaking and giving interviews and doing documentaries. And this is going to happen. I'm confident that this will happen one day in America. Like, I'm waiting for the day to talk to my representative.
Domino effect. Once it gets going, it's a domino. You remember, think of it like this. You're an American. Okay, the blue jeans, these certain type of blue jeans come in. They usually come in Europe, and then pretty soon US has them, and then Canada has them. Yeah, US is a bit ahead of Canada too, usually. Now, Canada follows suit with Commonwealth, so it'd be interesting if Canada were to follow suit of Australia and the New Zealand Commission. That'd be interesting if all the Commonwealth countries took suit. Okay, we're going to move forward. This is more your department, Pennsylvania. You've been doing a lot of that news, right?
Oh yeah, go straight to their mug shots. Those are the dates. Those are the mug shots. I mean, these are only 2 of like the 16 people that were arrested in Pennsylvania. And I think most of them are elders that have been doing this abuse since the 90s. Like, I was reading some of these articles and I was like, so that's basically my whole existence. 20 something years ago, these people were, committing crimes and kept their position, covered it up, and now the victims are old enough to actually speak about this, and they all got arrested. The AG of Pennsylvania did a whole press conference. We've all seen that in the Pennsylvania updates. We've all done, like, spreading awareness. I did a video on it. Like, a bunch of people did videos on this because that's how crazy it is. And just to mention as well, if anybody follows Just June on YouTube, she just did an interview with Stephanie, and she was actually present at one of those trials. So she went in person. Did you see that?
Yeah, well, I seen her talk about it. But I was asking my good wife, I said, if I got in there, I'd like to bring a camera in, but I guess you're not allowed to do any videotaping from the audience.
Unless you're the press.
You actually go through like an airport check station, get into the court, and they take everything from you: cell phones, keys, anything that could be weaponized.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't know.
But yeah, she went, and I was watching that interview, like my eyes were peeled to whatever June was talking about, because she was there, she witnessed how the interactions were, how much support that the guy had versus, the ex-Jehovah's Witness victim, and obviously she's there for the ex-Jehovah's Witness victim, and it was just like the tension was crazy, it was awkward, it was horrible, but I'm so glad that she was able to be there. So if anybody wants to check that interview out, it's on Steph's channel. Steph Woke Up, and Just June, she's following those cases, so subscribe to her as well.
Yeah. Okay. This is the next one here. Look, and if you see any comments, can you put comments up too?
Let me try. Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go. You can put comments up. So if you see any comments you want to put up and comment about, feel free.
Okay, cool.
Okay, the next one is Jehovah's Witnesses 2 trial. Oh, that's the one we just did, the 2 trial dates. And the next one is educator charged after failing to report. Educator. So I think this might not be a Jehovah's Witness, but just an educator.
What state was it?
We could play it, I guess, here.
Another student. Deputies said the guidance counselor did not believe she had violated any laws. Spartanburg County, SC, Fox, Carolina. The Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office said a guidance counselor with District 3 turned herself in after she was charged with failure to report child abuse/neglect stemming from an incident that started in 2021. According to the Sheriff's Office, on February 7, 2024, an incident involving a student being sexually assaulted by another student during their time at Cliffdale Elementary School between August 2021 and February 2024 was reported. Deputies said the student reported the incident to a guidance counselor at Cliffdale Middle School 61-year-old Joy Allen on 2 separate occasions. However, Allen did not report the incident to the Department of Social Services, DSS, or law enforcement, as required by law.
So you know what that tells me? Elders that aren't reporting are in a very serious position. Elders that are following the Watchtower's advice. I believe the courts are going to say, we don't care if you're following the Watchtower's advice. If the Watchtower told you to drive on the wrong side of the road, are you going to drive on the wrong side of the road?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You're not stupid. There's laws.
Yeah.
There's laws when it comes to CSA, and you have to report. And why are you an elder if you don't know the laws? It's actually in their new elders book, they have to report these now. But I think they're going to be dealt like that in court, even for old cases.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, these are crimes. CSA is a crime. It's coming out. Okay, here's one. Here's another. Is this another Pennsylvania case?
I think that's California. I remember doing a video on him. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I read this story and then I gave my own thoughts on my own channel. So if anybody wants to see my in-depth, thoughts about this guy, you can definitely go to my channel. This guy is a smooth talker, rubbing shoulders with old little ladies. And he stole a lot of money. So this is like a fraud case. And so I guess this wrap up is that he 16 years. I mean, that's what he was, I guess, charged with. So
Wow.
and then yeah, I think there's another head.
700K?
That's a lot of money, right? Like
Yeah.
people's whole life savings. He was convincing them to just hand it over to him, like to let him either invest or do certain things. And then he was buying stuff for himself. Like it's a complete scam.
Here he
It's
is. Eh?
crazy. Yeah. And so
So
he
what
he
was he
finally,
into, estates and stuff like that? Getting people's money?
I think it was different congregations in California, like where he's from, and he was just taking money left and right. They trusted him, like how we trust the elders with everything. We trust brothers with everything. And I think that he was preying on these women, and he got what he wanted, but he got caught later on. So I'm happy he got arrested. And so, yep,
Here it is.
16 years.
So he was they said strip mining the retirement
Hmm.
accounts of multiple senior citizens to the cumulative tune of 700,000, and they call
Yep.
it a flim flam artist. That's what they call
That,
it.
I've never heard of that term before.
No, but sounds like it fits. Well, these like everybody gets caught, eh? It seems
Right.
like everyone gets caught. It's if you're speeding, you get caught. I
Hmm.
drive good. The police, sometimes I drive the speed limit or I speed past the police. Sometimes they're going too slow.
Yeah.
But if you're
And
doing something wrong, you get caught. It seems like it. I think we put out energy that says, hey, I'm doing something wrong. So the police pick up on the energy. Okay, get him. Radar gun. I don't
yeah,
know.
but he used his personality as a Jehovah's Witness to get these women to trust him in the first place, which is why I talk about this. I'm like, the culture is that you trust brothers in the hall because they take the lead. So if he is being all cozy with these old ladies and he's
Yeah.
younger, good looking, he probably has a personality that's so like popular and nice, and of course he's gonna swindle them out of their money. And that's the problem with Jehovah's Witnesses. So I totally get this, like this this whole problem. um but you see, it says that the judge imposed a lighter sentence because of the lack of his criminal charges. You see, that's
Mhm.
another thing. We're Jehovah's Witnesses. We don't lie, we don't steal, we don't do things. But they're sleazy within the congregation, and nobody really finds out until you do something as big as this.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
problem is the elders, they can get reported, but if this guy's an elder or something, they seem to protect them.
Yeah.
Brothers, they protect brothers more than sisters, that organization. It has a problem. It has a male chauvinistic problem.
There you go.
Okay, we all know that.
Hmm.
Next news. This is the protest of survivors of the Greater Grace World Outreach. So what is that? What is that all about? I don't know.
Oh,
It
that's a
says this,
church.
yeah. He taped his mouth shut. Shame, broken
Mhm.
failure. He took off his shoes, stood in front of the church during their large convention, June 24th, 2024. So everyone, all these churches have large conventions, it seems like. They rally people for money, eh? That's what the
Mhm.
conventions are about. So the guy stood in the sidewalk outside of this outreach complex, East Baltimore. He was barefoot, shirtless. There were words painted on his face, arms, legs. Shame, broken. So much failure, stolen, guilty, and worthless. Those were the words he painted on
Mhm.
himself.
Mhm.
He had positioned himself near the entrance. Oh, whose inadequate response to child sex abuse allegations was the focus of his banner series. It was the
Mhm.
night of the
Mhm.
church's annual homecoming. So it seems like this is a problem in a lot of churches, eh? This CSA. The Greater Grace World Outreach. Wow. Look at to have that about your church, eh?
Yeah, he did a great job in gaining attention, because that's the best way to share, to bring awareness with the general public, is protesting. Having the signs, being outside, showing ourselves, showing our faces, giving our stories.
Yeah.
That's the only way we can do it. Like, violence is not going to get us anywhere. We just have to keep using our voice and do exactly what this guy is doing, but for Jehovah's Witnesses.
So here it is. The abuser, Raymond Fernandez, has been investigated, charged, convicted, and sent to prison because of this guy's work. So this is an example of our work. The Be Free protest. Anybody out there that's out making an awareness, sending a letter out to your MP, to your member of parliament. And I heard you're into parliament politics a little bit, Ruby. You're getting into politics. How's that going?
So, me and Chaka were talking from the Anthony Morris Returns channel. Chaka Yumba, he's an ex-elder. He has an idea to talk about politics because his elections are coming up. And I was like, of course I want to talk about politics. So that was the beginning of that. I did a couple of streams already on my live tab. So I'm going to continue it. I think it's important that we are no longer neutral, and that we should talk about politics a little bit more, and just grow that part of ourselves,
Good for
be
you.
a little bit more opinionated, and be not afraid to talk about it.
No. In fact, politics is in the Bible. It's full of it. If you're a Bible person, it's full of politics. And the Bible is political. You got to take sides. Which side are you on? Okay?
Exactly. We cannot be lukewarm.
Yeah, it's a political book. So here's this guy. I haven't seen any exJWs do this, but that's some pretty aggressive advertising. I think
it worked. It definitely worked.
Got that guy convicted. So this next one is SCOTUS ruling on Purdue bankruptcy plan signals victory for survivors. So I don't know what that's about. Do you know what that's about?
I don't.
No. So this is just some of the watching Watchtower. They bring all this news to us. So it's good to look at it, because the reason some of this stuff is happening in other churches, and they're bringing this to the fore, it's showing this is coming for Jehovah's Witnesses. It's the same thing. The world is sick and tired. The whole world is sick and tired of abuse done to children.
Right.
It seems like the stand is happening all over all these churches. So here's talking about the Supreme Court ruled bankruptcy. They do not have the authority to force plaintiffs to settle all of their claim against all the defendants if a single defendant files for bankruptcy. The ruling delivers a significant victory for victims of child sex abuse who have long complained that the defendants were abusing the bankruptcy process to force cheap settlements with defendants and their insurance companies. Interesting, eh? So people are going bankrupt. So they're not allowing that no more, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
They're onto the sex offenders. So insurance would cover some of this, you would think? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to do research on that ruling.
Yeah.
And
that's the first time I've seen anything on insurance, like personal insurance covering that. Being a sex offender. I think we would have clauses for that. Anyways, who knows? Okay. This is some news off Twitter. What do we have? Fade to X. Have you ever heard of Fade to X?
I don't think so, but I'm also going to go on Twitter on my own tab and see if I'm following him.
So he does some really good critical thinking. Fade to X. I used a couple of his. So here's one. He's saying the irony of the new JW channel's videos on Jeremiah. I don't know if you've seen that one, the video. Today's gods. I haven't looked at it, but I've seen it there on their JW.org site. Now, today's God's people are also doing bad things, and the priests, i.e. the GB, are trying to scare anyone who tries to talk about it. So in Jeremiah's day, God's people were doing bad things.
Mm-hmm.
And what's this showing? He had him locked up to scare him.
Hmm.
Well, they disfellowship us to scare us, right? The
Mm-hmm.
priest wanted Jeremiah to stay quiet. This is all JW stuff. In Jeremiah's day, God's people were doing bad things. So
Bad things.
in Jeremiah's day, so in Ruby's day, the Watchtower was doing bad things, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
A
so
priest
they
who
the
wants
watch.
Jeremiah to stay quiet.
So an elder wanted Ruby to stay quiet, right? So they did they disassociate you or disfellowship you?
I
The
was
one,
reproved, and then a year later disfellowshipped.
yeah. See, they wanted you to stay quiet, and
Right.
so
Yeah.
they locked you up with disfellowshipping to scare you. There,
Mm.
that's kind of how I see, and that's Watchtower stuff. They throw this narcissists throw stuff out to the audience that they're doing. They're doing this stuff. So why are they trying to teach the audience what they're doing? And they're trying to
Yep.
teach the audience, okay, this is what you don't want to do, but yet they're doing that. The Watchtower does that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They're losing their freedom of speech, is what I see happening. They're losing their freedom of speech because if you're guilty for lying, for covering up,
Mm-hmm.
for evading all of this stuff, pretty soon you lose your freedom of speech with the whole world,
Yeah.
with the courts.
Mm-hmm.
So here's our last one. Is the Czech Republic, May 13th, 2024. A manipulation through relationships is the biggest problem for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
So we should have cut off our best friends, former Jehovah's Witnesses say. And social ties are formed primarily within the organization. If they decide to leave the organization, they call it a her. Everyone cuts off contact with them, including immediate family. And this one guy, Ivan, now do you know how to say those kinds of Russian words?
I don't. I'm not
Sobika,
gonna try.
Sobika. That's how I'd say
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Ivan Sobika.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you just fake it, and if you say it fast enough. Ivan Sabika, one of the two authors of the novel Jehovahist, was even
Mm-hmm.
forced by the trauma to seek professional psychiatric help. And together with their colleagues, Voltek, Domolton, Rosiltril, they agree that the manipulation through relationships is the biggest problem. You can't click on, you can click on that. Can we play the video? Doesn't look like you can play the video.
I think it's a screenshot. It's a screenshot.
Oh, it's just a screenshot.
Yeah. If you put the link, then maybe. But I don't think there's a link there. Oh,
Right
there's a link. Okay, no, the last. There you go. That one. Yeah, that one. There you go.
English.
Oh, English. There you go.
What's this say? Resume? I'll just click that. No? Got it. No? Maybe I click that one? Got it. I don't know.
Does it let you scroll down? Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's the interview that they're having, that they're talking about.
Autoři knihy Jehovista jsou hosty dnešního rozstřelu. Dobrý den i vám, pánové.
Dobrý den.
Já jsem tu knížku přečetla jedním dechem.
Nice.
I can't get rid
Hlavním
of
mojím
this
pocitem bylo
box.
překvapení. Asi jsem čekala trošku jako skandální odhalení sektářských praktik. A zatím jsem prostřednictvím vašeho vyprávění se spíš dostala do společnosti pevných přátelství, empatie, poměrně velké obětavosti a celkem dobře nastavených priorit. A zavírala se...
Okay, well, did you get any of that?
Yeah, I don't know that language, but if anybody does, there you go. There's an interview there.
Well, there's a couple of links.
Those are hashtags. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's to bring more people to the tweet.
Look at this guy.
Nice. Wow. There's so many of us, like that in every language, every country. I'm so happy that they're actually doing this.
Everyone's speaking out now with the internet.
Yes.
Everything that is hidden will be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll make it so I'm looking at you.
Oh, okay.
Because I have two screens, so I'm always looking over here to look at StreamYard over here.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking over here to look at my other screen with all my material.
Oh, nice.
Okay, well, I think we did it. We did it all in an hour and 11 minutes. How do you like that?
Nice. Yes. And this was my first time, so I hope this works out.
Well, I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was easier for me to do news. It's a lot more fun. You know a lot of the news that's going on out there, and it's nice doing it like that. So, what does everyone think of having Ruby on to do the news? Everyone really liked that, so they want you to come on again.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about it. If I am gonna do this with you like every Friday, I'm gonna get a new wig for you. Like I'm gonna have to bring a different persona for the news.
Okay, well, we'll be looking forward to a different wig every time, right?
Well, I'll choose a different wig just for this series because this is like my wig for videos. I have my red one for my lives. I'm gonna get an ombre one for the political stuff, and then I have a blonde one coming. So I'm gonna use the blonde one for you. So we'll see how it works out.
There you go. So, San Diego wants a purple wig.
A purple wig? Oh my God. Maybe dark purple because I don't want to look too crazy out here. But if I get something a little bit like a deep dark purple, I'll think about it. Or maybe like a curly wig, like have a bunch of curls going on.
That'd be great. Here it is, purple wig.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. Okay, well, we're not going to stretch things on too much longer unless there's anybody else that has news out there that we missed. And they could certainly come on, put it in the comments. I've been kind of looking at things. Ricky Bobby, what is he saying? He saw a shrink for a short period of time, and he doesn't mind sharing. She helped him. Yeah. I think can help. I don't know. I went to marriage counseling once because it was free. And it was good. I went a couple of times. He gave me a sheet of paper, basically the golden rule, and then he came up with a bunch of other things that you can do in a marriage to really, I was surprised when I went into the marriage counseling and my ex, who's still a JW, didn't want to go because the elders told her not to. I'm not sure. I knew I needed to go, right? So I went to the marriage counseling. The doctor told me to go because we were separated. We were separated. And so I went to the marriage counseling and I said to her, why don't you come? You can both go or you could go separate. They'll do whatever they want. So I went in. She didn't want to go, so I went. And I was surprised. I went in there and I was doing a lot of, how it is. Well, she does this and she does that. And he said, oh, no, that's not how this works. We're going to figure out what you're doing. So then he started going through, and it's all self-reflective. That's what I found.
Yes.
It was excellent. And he gave me one sheet of paper, and I photocopied that, and I handed that out to a lot of brothers over the years because I was in my 30s when I went. And it helped so much. I applied everything on the sheet because I wanted to save my marriage. And I did. I saved my marriage, and we went forward. So there's some good advice out there, and none of this stuff was in the Watchtower. None of it.
Right.
But it's one sheet of paper. But yeah, there's a lot going on right now in the world scene, news-wise with Jehovah's Witnesses. I want to show you something here that I found that was interesting. I'm going to find it here, and I'll present my screen right here. Now I'm going to go to playlists. Now this is it will present this back. Watching Watchtower they made a playlist. If you hit playlists, now look at the playlists. Here's where Watchtower is having cases right now. Venezuela, Louisiana, Switzerland, Lithuania, New Mexico, Sweden, Michigan, Colorado, Bulgaria, Finland, Brazil, New Jersey, Netherlands? Netherlands too. Canada, France, Ireland, Washington, Spain, others, Australia, Norway, Indigenous areas, outcomes, Wisconsin, Poland, help for survivors, CSA survivors, California, the UK, New York, Argentina, Netherlands, here's Netherlands, Japan, Germany, New Zealand, Montana, Hawaii, Pennsylvania. Now, that was a lot of stuff to name off. I'm just going to slowly go up. Here's all of the places Watchtower has lawyers. They're going to court. They're fighting. Things are happening. Norway, they scheduled for a 9-day trial in Norway. A 9-day trial in February. So they must have something they think they're going to say. And like, unless they change their religion, why are they going back to court in Norway unless they change their religion?
They're stubborn. They don't want to change. And I don't think that's going to change. Like they just, like I say all the time, they just changed the rules of engagement, but the policy is still there. There's still a possibility for minors to get DF, which is the whole thing with Norway. The shunning minors, like that's abusive. And it is. I mean, I went through that. I got DF at 17 and I was pregnant and a minor. So it's like so many things on top of each other that it's mentally abusive, like psychologically abusive. And I don't think that they're going to change, but we'll see what happens. I guess we're going to see.
Yep, we will. Okay, well, I didn't really have I'll have to get you to make an ending. I usually put the ending on. Maybe I'll put the danger zone on. That's one I just recently made.
Okay.
But I really like your new commercial, your new intro for the politics.
Oh,
you're live?
Yeah.
I like that.
I sent you a comment and I told you that genre of music is called MAGA rap. It's like a whole new genre of music. And that particular artist doesn't use any foul language. He's very conservative Christian. And that's why I like him. So I can enjoy the music with no curse words. And it's all about Trump and, the whole MAGA movement. And he does a lot of other songs to be like controversial and edgy. And I just love that. So I used one of his songs for my intro and I love it.
Is it licensed? Is that a licensed song?
I don't know. Like, I purchased it on Amazon and then it's on my computer as an MP3 and then I put it on top of my video.
It's licensed then.
What did okay. I do? But I monetized them. I monetized it, so it went through. So I don't think there's an issue there.
Oh, that's why you're broadcasting on your. I'm trying to pull up a video on your channel. I wonder if I can. You're broadcasting now. You're broadcast. Okay, here's the one. Let's see if I can pull this one up.
Okay, add it to the stage.
Wait. I'll just play a little bit. I might have to trim it.
Okay.
Okay, could you hear that? Okay, I'm going to put it on the stage.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, add it to the stage and then we'll be able to hear it.
I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm real and they be faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm got the bias of a gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting, Bible reading, God believing, truth speaking American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. This for free, thinkers only. You ain't got no membership, they free. General Flynn out the cage, cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone is the run know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Justice Smollett that I know this MAGA country. tell China we know they.
There we
Hello,
That was
everybody.
great.
I don't know if you can hear me good.
Okay. Well, that was great. That was a great. You'll have to make one for this newscast.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we'll see if we get a copyright strike tomorrow. We might have to trim that. No big deal. That's how we
Yeah.
test things.
Yeah, for your channel, yes, because on my channel, I don't care. I'm gonna have all my MAGA music. I'm bringing it on. I'm not afraid of nobody and nothing. I'm using my channel to finally be the person that I couldn't be my whole life. You know what I mean? Nothing is holding me back. No religion, not my mother, not this YouTube stuff, nothing. I'm coming full blown. This is who I am,
Good
and I'm
for you.
finally showing that. Yes.
Well, good for you. Well, Ruby, here's what I have to say. Thank you for being with us today.
Yeah.
And we're going to say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye, everyone. We're done today, and keep living your life with love. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now. When you join the JW religion, you take a ride into the danger zone. That's JW judging. Yes, when you walk and ride down the highway of the JW religion, you're going down the highway of the danger zone, JW judging. And they travel in pairs on the street corners and on your doors. They're there to judge you if you don't follow their way. It's JW judging. And when you ride into the danger zone and you're involved in JW judging, there's a dogfight, and it's happening right within the religion itself. You have elders scrutinizing the people within, and you have ministerial servants wanting to be just like elders. And then you have the judging, the JW judging. It gets into the minds, it's a spiral effect, and it gets into the minds of those that want to get out, and they can't, and they spiral, and it's a dogfight within the religion. It's JW judging. But then if you are persistent and you work your way out through that spiral, through that dogfight, and finally you set yourself free, well, then you're with your exJW friends, traveling in the moonlight, a journey that's ahead.